Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of an unboxing. Always been a Milwaukee tool fan. My dad was a fan when I was a kid, so I kind of inherited that liking to Milwaukee. So we're going to unbox some power tools, some sockets, but I just want to point out that the box that I got is not in the best shape. So when the package was delivered, this is pretty much how it looked. The little bit of tape that was still securing it down was like right here, but when I went to pick it up and try to move it inside to get it out of the rain, that broke. So but I have not opened it up further than what you saw there, so let's get into it and see if anything's damaged. But so first things first, what I grab here, this is the cover for the protective boot, as they call it, for the Milwaukee impact wrench that I bought. Always a good idea to protect your investment, regardless of what it is. It does look like this was bent a little bit. I don't think it's too much damage, if any at all, because this is rubber, so I think it should be good. Let's see how hard or easy it is to open it up here. Not hard at all, but maybe I'll damage it more to get this out. But anyway, all right, so here it is, rubber boot. Very heavy duty, very durable. There are some scuffs on there, not sure if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, this looks like it's in pretty good shape. So next, let's see what all we got in here. Let's go with the battery. So for any of you that are into Milwaukee or DeWalt or you know, any of the other big names, you'll know that batteries are very, very expensive. The bigger the battery, the more expensive it's going to get. So this, I got the M18 Red Lithium XC 5.0. A lot of you that are going to be watching this that are very familiar with power tools, Milwaukee in general, you'll know that, like I just said, the batteries are super expensive if you try to buy them individually or on their own. You know, if you walk into Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, you know, the batteries, this battery, depending on where you are, might be 150, 200, 250 bucks. They're bigger ones. I think they have an 8.0 as well. Those are probably used for the chainsaws, the push mowers that they have now. I'm not really going to be getting into those. I'm a huge fan of steel chainsaws. So I'm gas all the way as far as that goes. But like I said, these batteries alone can be stupid expensive. This one, I think with the bill that or the invoice that I got, I think I paid, with everything else that I bought, it was like a $75 add-on. Maybe not even that much, I'm not sure. The package that I got, or the deal that I got, included this and the other stuff that you might have seen already in the box real quick. The protective boot is the only thing that was not included in the package. I bought that separately. This is, even I thought this was a little expensive for what it is. This is like 40, 45 bucks, something like that. But again, protect your investment. Milwaukee is very expensive, very high quality. So I just wanted to make sure that I try to be as careful as I can. I want to make sure that I protect as much as everything that I can. So we'll open that up here in a little bit. Let's see what else. How about socket set? There we go. So I bought the 1/2-inch socket set, SAE, as you saw there. So this is the 12-piece socket set. It comes from everything, or it comes with sockets from 3/8 all the way up to 1 1/16. Not the most socket sets, well, not the most sockets that you can get, but for what I'm doing right now, should be pretty good. So, since we can do a little bit of an unboxing here, let's just see what everything looks like inside here. Packaged very well. Come on. Is it taped somewhere? Am I missing something? Maybe I'm just a weakling. Come on. It's not the best quality video, guys. I'm sorry. Ah, there it is. I don't know if you can see that in there, but it is zip tied. So, I have to crack it open here with my handy dandy box cutter. So, this is definitely gonna scratch up the case, but oh, I guess not. So, note to everybody, whenever you get a socket set from Milwaukee, it's gonna be a little zip tie. That's gonna make you look like an idiot when you're opening this up. So, let's see here. Everything looks really clean. Looks like there's some protective oil on here. So like I said, you got the 3/8 all the way up to the 1 1/16. Now for any of you diesel guys or anything like that, which is the kind of hobby that I'm trying to get into, might not work out the best, you know, because I know everything from my short experience working on my truck, you need sockets that are really, really big working on diesels. I think the cap for my oil filter and fuel filter are like 32 millimeter, something like that. But it's always nice to have some impact sockets in both SAE and metric. You know, you can get away with using SAE and metric interchangeably a lot of the time, but not most of the time, or not all the time. So if you want to, protect whatever you're working on, your truck, your car, your tractor, anything like that, and you don't want to strip any bolts or sockets, nuts or anything like that, you definitely want to try to use the actual size socket on that nut or bolt, just to help protect, you know, what you're doing. That way there's no chance of you stripping the bolt or the nut, like I was saying. So looks very high quality. You also have the serial number, the product number, item number on these sockets, just in case I break this one, so I can go in and I can try to reorder the exact same one. I'm going to do my best to protect this stuff. It's not cheap at all. I'll put the prices of everything in the description of the video, but I think all in all this was about 730, 750 bucks, something like that. But yeah, definitely one thing I can't stress, and I'm not even the best at it either, I can't stress enough, is you know, protect your tools. There's always the right tool for the right job, or whatever job that is at hand. Do your best to use the tools that are created for that job. So, let's see, what's next? Let's go. I want to do the wrench itself last. So let's see here. Let's see about... This is the big one. This is the one that I really wanted. So, this one right here. This is the 29-piece set for metric. So this goes all the way from 8 millimeter, I believe, all the way up to 36 millimeter. This is the one that I plan on using the most, especially for cars in my truck. A lot of companies now are trending more towards metric. They had been doing that for probably more than a decade at this point, but there was still a decent amount of work that you could do with the SAE stuff. But just look at the size difference, and like I said, there's 29 pieces in here. And where did this go? There's only 12 pieces in the SAE one. So I think that's very telling, in my opinion, that, you know, there's a lot more stuff that's being made, automobile, industrial, agriculture, that is metric size. So you know, let's get into this one. Let's see what this one looks like. I'm excited for this. Very heavy, so definitely some weight to it. But let's see here. Tip it down here. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. I know because of my son, I now work on Sundays, so I got off Saturday, had to work Sunday, but fortunately I got to enjoy a little bit of Memorial Day because I was off on Memorial Day. So, but anyway, so. Looks very similar to the SAE one, but let's see here. So, oh, not sure if you guys knew this, but there's a zip tie that you have to crack open to get into your socket sets. So just remember that if you decide to buy one of these on your own for yourself. Ta-da! All right. Let's see here. Wow, would you look at that? That one came open a lot easier. Go figure. So, let's see here. Everything from 8. I'll roll all these because I like being able to show off or show the numbers of everything. I'm not the best quite yet at knowing nuts and bolt sizes just by looking at them, but I feel like I'm getting pretty good. 10 millimeters are pretty common these days, so if anybody's wondering, you know, what size is that, chances are it's a 10 millimeter. But anyway, so like I was saying, there's some grease on here as well, some oil, definitely to protect it from rusting. You know, you got your big one here, 36 millimeter. Definitely probably going to not definitely, probably most likely going to be using this on my truck. Like I also said, I think the truck has like 32 or 33, who knows, maybe it is a 36. Maybe I'll have to get bigger sockets working on the truck. But anyway, this is the one, like I said, that I really wanted. The 10 millimeter. You know, that seems to be the one that everybody loses, and that most things are, you know, made of these days. So everything looks really good. I don't see any scratches or anything, so it looks like whatever happened in shipping from this box did not damage so far. Knock on wood, even though that's PEX. But yeah, I mean, everything looks super clean. Everything was in its place. None of these sockets were, you know, out of place when I opened the box here, as you just saw. So, and then even same thing with the American one. There's that part number, like I was saying. So if ever I break or lose one of these, I can just go in here and look and see the part number all the way down through this 36 millimeter socket here. So, let's see, let me show you that too here on the American one. So there we are, right there, part number for all of the sockets on the American side. So, but anyway, so I think it's pretty cool. You know, it's definitely pretty high quality so far. Everything seems to be boxed up really nice. Whenever I do get a toolbox, probably be getting rid of, or at least storing, these boxes that these sockets came in, because I want to have a little bit easier access to them. I can just open up the drawer on the toolbox than having to worry about opening up these boxes here. So, but anyway, so this is what got so far. So all that stuff is pretty cool. But now let's get to the real exciting one. So this last thing that I got, M18 fuel. So I'm not really sure about if I want to connect it to Wi-Fi. Definitely not a conspiracy theorist too much, but I don't think everything needs to be connected to Wi-Fi. I don't think you need to have Bluetooth for everything. I think that's a little excessive, in my opinion. But whatever floats your boat, I guess. So, but anyway, let's get into this one. I'm really excited about this. So I'm still using, if anybody you watched my earlier videos, I was using breaker bars. Breaker bars, I will still be using breaker bars, but you know, breaker bars are really nice again for breaking something loose, but definitely not the fastest when it comes to actually undoing a lug nut or whatever. So, but again, very well packaged so far, no issues. Everything looks really clean. Love that black and red. And this one key, I'm not too familiar with this one key. Like I said, it seems like if I want to connect it to my phone, I can't do that. But let's see, what does the box say? So one key, save customized profiles to tool for unmatched control, reliability or repeatability, and the fastest way to work. Track your tool's location, and if lost, get alerts when found. Or lock your tool and disable remotely. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be worrying about that too much. Maybe somebody will steal my tool, and then I'll regret it, and then I'll make another video saying that I should have worried about that more. But instead, right now, I'm gonna be ignorant, they say, or as they say, and see what I can do about losing this thing. But anyway, so it comes with the one key tag. You know, it's beautiful. It's very, very pretty. I'm gonna almost dropped it. So it looks very good, very heavy, of course, up top here where the motor is and everything. But because I did just almost drop it, I'm gonna try putting this little protective cover on it right now and see how hard it is to put that on. That way you guys can see, figure out how to do it on your own so that you don't embarrass yourself like I'm doing already. So again, not too bad actually. Kind of surprised. I thought I was going to struggle, but anyway, so there it is with the protective boot. Obviously, just because you have the boot on there, don't be throwing your tools around. You know, if you accidentally drop it, you're laying it on the ground. If you set it up like this, I have a very bad habit of just setting my tools up like this when I'm on the ground instead of just laying them down. So if you're setting them up like this on the ground and they fall over, that boot's definitely going to help. But again, I would not recommend, you know, she's like, oh, you know, I'm done with this, and then just throwing it on the ground. Highly not recommended. One of the reasons why I went with this tool is because the trigger here, I'm going to try to open up the battery as fast as I can, that way I'm not dragging this out too much for you guys. One of the reasons why I went with this tool in particular is because the trigger on this impact wrench hammer, whichever you guys want to call it, you can control how fast you want the socket to spin, or the drill to spin, or whichever term you want to use. Really helpful for when you're just getting started on a bolt or a nut, before you torque it down all the way when you're putting stuff back together. Let's see how much juice we have here. We got 1 bar, so I'll be able to show you what I mean. But anyway, the other option you have for the M18, the trigger is, once you pull the trigger, you get full power. Now, most of the time that's probably fine, but again, if you're trying to, gingerly, not politely, but if you're trying to easily, start your bolt, start your nut on whatever you're working on, it's really nice for you to just be able to slowly pull the trigger and get it spinning. Then obviously once you get started more, you can get it full blast. But like I said, I believe the other version of the M18 is, once you pull the trigger, you just get full blast. That's all you get. So but anyway, let's see how everything fits on here. I don't know, it's a big drill. Why don't I just put the biggest American on here? Let's see here. So got the 1/2-inch drill, right? Or impact wrench. Let me see here. There we go. See? Just like that. You guys might not have been even able to see that. Alright, so really excited for all this. Definitely make it a lot easier for me to just rotate the tires on my wife's car, my truck. I definitely would not recommend, any of you that watched the videos before or watch anything on the 6.4 Power Stroke, which is what my truck is, definitely would not recommend using one of these to undo the plastic oil cap or fuel filter cap cover in the engine bay. I might not even use it to break the drain plug underneath the truck, but like I said, definitely for just taking tires off, for example, to rotate your tires. You're changing brakes, might not be the easiest with this size of impact wrench that we're going to be using, but again, even just taking tires off, taking lug nuts off of tires, it should be a lot easier than just using that breaker bar. Should be a little bit quicker, especially the more and more I get into this stuff, more and more anybody ends up using these. If you end up going and buying exactly that, if you can shave 2 or 3 seconds off of taking all 5 lug nuts, or each lug nut off of a tire, no, it doesn't sound like a lot, but once you get all your tools set up properly, you can shave 5, 10, 15 seconds off of whatever you're doing, for example. It'll save you a lot of time and energy. So, but anyway, but yeah, so that's about it. Again, this is everything that I got here. Got the SAE, got the metric sockets, power drill, impact wrench. I got the rubber boot. I would highly recommend you guys getting that as well. Like I said, I can't stress enough, just protect your stuff. And the XC5 battery. I hate pandering for this. I know I'm not the best at uploading videos every month or every week, for that matter. But if you guys could just please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what kind of content you're looking for. It's nice outside. It's no longer cold. It's the end of May here in Western Pennsylvania, so should be starting to get into some chainsaw work. I did one job already this year. So like I said, previous videos, I'm just a small company, me, myself, and I. So if anybody wants to reach out, please do. Tree falls down in your yard or whatever, I can come clean it up for you. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Really excited for this stuff. I hope this was helpful. I'm pretty sure that this box was just a FedEx issue. I don't think this was Home Depot. I have heard that Home Depot also likes to just slap UPS or FedEx stickers on these boxes, and the box for the drill too. But fortunately they didn't. Fortunately they put it all in a, fortunately they put it all in a nice big box. So, but yeah, thank you again for watching. Hope everybody's doing okay out there. And till next time, bye.